Can you handle Mazzy's whack-a-mole number? What number is this? 20 something? 23, 24, 22, 20? Can you handle it, huh? Lights, camera, action. Hey, VC, vinyl community. You know, I go to Canada, I come back, and I just went over 400 subscribers, so thank you. I'm gonna wait till I hopefully hit 500 around that time and do a contest, because I don't want to, I just think that's the way to do it. I don't think I need to, you're not, okay, I'm flipping you, baby. How's that? Oh, I can't do that. Once I get it, once I pull the trigger, you're launched. So, whack-a-mole, I pick 5 random records from my collection, and we chat about them, or I chat about them, unless I have a guest. Just want to let you know, vinyl community, I'm going to have some very special guests passing through Maslow's world headquarters here in Seattle, Washington, the Great Northwest, this July. I have friends coming over towards the middle and the end of the month, staying here back to back to back to back. Some old school friends from San Francisco, from San Rafael, from New Jersey, from Vashon Island, which is just across Puget Sound in Seattle. So, if you're going to be in the Great Northwest in the Seattle area, shout out. Give me a heads up. Maybe we can meet up for a record visit, and maybe you can be a very, very special guest in a very special episode. You can see I'm wider awake now than I was earlier. A very special episode of Mazzy's Whack-a-Mole. So 5. God, this is not like straight. I need that. Whatever. 5. I'll pick them all at once and then I'll show them, but I won't look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, something very popular. You wouldn't expect Mazzy to have this album, but I kind of have a little crush on St. Vincent. How can you not? And she's a fucking great guitar player. And Music Man designed a special limited edition guitar for her. She's pretty great, actually. And I got to admit, I recently got into her. I know she's been around for a while. I do like that album she did about 5 years ago with David Byrne. It's really clever and it's really creative. Her stuff somewhat commercial, but it's not what you think. And she's a great, great guitar player. What can I say? What's in here? Anything special? Oh, she wrote me a love letter here. Not really. But she actually produced the upcoming new album by Sleater-Kinney, which is getting some mixed reviews from Sleater-Kinney fans. And if you read the news, the drummer that's been with Sleater-Kinney just quit before their new tour and their new album comes out. I wonder if they're too poppy now or too commercial, whatever that is. Who am I to judge? And that's just news. Now, this is a good one. Bill Callahan, Dream River. I'm a big Callahan fan, as you know, if you've seen some of my recent videos. His newest album is one of my top albums of the year so far. And I went to see him in Seattle 2 weeks ago. Great. Low baritone voice. In the 90s, he put out albums under the name Smog. And this album came out 2013. I think this is his last album before the new one. He's on Drag City Records. I just love it. Anything from him. I don't have everything from him, but I think I've got to become a Bill Callahan completist, because I just adore his music. I think you got to check it out. It's alt country, folky, Americana, that kind of genre that you can throw everything into, because he's he's very unique. Anyway, look at some of his videos on YouTube. Prince. Was this his first album? I Want to Be Your Lover, Sexy Dancer. Okay, this is the first or second album. This might be I think it's the first album. You know, I should have done this whole video with my shirt off like this, but I don't think you want to see that. I'm not, you know, kind of, people used to sort of mix us up, especially when I used to, you know, ride Pegasus. Anyway, what can I say? Prince. I love Prince. Prince, Warner Brothers Records. Slave. Remember Prince Slave when he left Warner Brothers for a while? Then he signed his catalog back before he died. Now, I'm going back to San Francisco, or at least the San Francisco Bay Area, to Oakland, to East Bay, Greece, and great band, Tower of Power. And I went to high school with Greg Adams, who was the trumpet player, the main trumpet player in Tower of Power. He was a senior. I was a freshman, so he didn't know me, but I knew of him, and they were kind of starting out way back in the day. This album came out in 1972, the year I graduated high school. So 4 years after I met him and saw them play, but he wouldn't know me from Adam. But this is a great album, right? Funk, Bump City, Funkifies. You got to Funkifies. Flash in the pan, down to the nightclub, going to Bump City. Did it. Who produced this album? Was it recorded? I bet you it was recorded in San Francisco too. Recording engineer Steve Cropper. Oh, recorded in Memphis, Tennessee. Boy, was I wrong on that one. But Tower of Power, what a great band, right? I mean, people don't think of them as a San Francisco band because they were, you know, East Bay. It had that East Bay funk that you don't think about when you think of San Francisco, the psychedelic. This is sort of the second or third generation of the San Francisco bands. I'd say, you know, Grateful Dead, Airplane. I mean, you could say pre-Caveman days in San Francisco was the Beau Brummels, because that was 64, right after the Beatles came out. But people don't even think of the Beau Brummels as a San Francisco band. But, you know, they think of, okay, Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, 65, 66, sort of the folk scene turning into rock and roll, psychedelic, the whole Haight-Ashbury, 66, and the Avalon Ballroom and the Fillmore Auditorium, and then just, you know, that great stuff. And then so that first phase was Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Quicksilver Messenger Service, Moby Grape, and then then Santana kind of came over there, and then we got into the 70s, and so that's like, you know, V2 version 2.5 with bands like Tower of Power and later Journey. But I'm not a big Journey fan except for their singles, and I know they're a San Francisco band, but I don't know, it's not really my thing, except, hey, great singles, right? They just a little too slick for my taste. And, this is a great album. You know how I always talk about Ry Cooder, right? Well, Ry Cooder, Bop Till You Drop. This is considered, I don't know if factually it is, the first album recorded all digital and released on vinyl, but all from digital. So it's basically, what do you call it? DDA. Looking back on it, maybe that wasn't a great thing, but it was really touted as that. This is a copy I just recently got, or the last couple of years, that's signed by Sir Cooder. Eric, don't touch that one. But Ry Cooder signed with his great, one of his great Stratocasters that he had painted, custom painted, in an auto body shop. That's like an auto body, sort of a 50s, 60s American paint color for automobiles. Because at the time, you know, Fender wasn't really putting out those kind of colors, I don't believe, at least on Strat, so he, as I recall. But this even talks about this digital recording, which I won't get into now, but, you know, Jim, who's on this record? It's great. Jim Keltner, Tim Drummond, David Lindley, Ry Cooder, you know, Herman Johnson and Bobby King in vocals, David Lindley, Milt Holland on percussion, Chaka Khan, Bobby King, and Ry Cooder on Down in Hollywood, which is, you know, for a white guy from Santa Monica, he's got a lot of funky soul, Ry Cooder, you know, and it sounds like a black bluesman at times. So he really got influenced. But Chaka Khan's on a couple of songs here on vocal. Don't You Mess Up with the Good Thing. So it's kind of a good funky record. But anyway, that's Mazzy's Whack-A-Mole. We were listening to Oliver Nelson recording up there that I first put on a audiophile AP pressing, Analog Productions pressing. And thanks for watching again. Mazzy loves you. And come on down to Seattle and join in on a special episode of Whack-A-Mole. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Mazzy loves you. Bye.